Hi, I'm Marguerite Martin with MoveToTacoma.com, and I'm here today with Tacoma real estate agent Keryn. How are you?
Good.
We're going to talk about the 2021 real estate market. We were here a year ago talking about 2020, and would you say, when we talked about 2020 last year, it was like things are very hard for buyers, things are good for sellers, but sellers need to be prepared and have a process and have good support. Are things easier in 2021 or harder?
Every year we do this, I feel like when I'm reflecting on it, I think, oh my gosh, it's so much worse. Like every year it's so much worse. Maybe I'm just tougher, but I would say it's harder in some ways, but it's doable. And I think when things were shifting and getting harder, it was new, it was more new, and and changing so rapidly. And I feel like now it's hard, but it's like a consistent hard.
Yeah, and it seems like the real estate agents, the lenders, the loan processors, everybody is set up to handle this new reality with COVID, with a low inventory situation. I mean, it does seem like maybe the inventory is even tighter than last year.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this. So COVID, everybody is suddenly prioritizing housing, right? They're spending more on their housing. They are they're willing to spend more for the house. The interest rates got lower, so it's cheaper to spend more for a house.
They can move faster.
They can
usually.
move faster. They're working
They're more
from
open.
home.
Yeah, because they're working from home. People who told me, oh, we're a couple years out, all of a sudden they're like, we're ready now. So I think everybody's feeling the lack of inventory. I think that's honestly my biggest obstacle right now with clients, because they're just sitting around, like they do all the prep work, they're ready, they're motivated, but there's nothing.
So if you're watching this video and you are a buyer, either in Tacoma looking to buy a house or moving to Tacoma from outside the area, like be ready. Be ready for, be ready with your patience and be ready to have to make a really quick decision. Now, if there is a seller who's thinking, maybe 2021's my year, I'm gonna sell my house. What do you have to say to a seller that wants to sell right now?
It's funny because what I've learned, especially in the 2020 market, is sellers go into the process thinking, oh, it's gonna be easy. Like I'm gonna make top dollar, don't even have to, you can pick how much work you wanna do, it's good to do the prep work, but it's gonna sell, there's no question. But on the flip side, there is stress. Like if I could summarize it, frenzy.
Yeah.
And especially if you're owner occupying the home, like I try to explain to people, I've had people be like, well, it's okay, we could get out in 15, because I said sometimes agents don't give you any notice. They want to see the house now. We're rolling up, can we come see it? And I don't think sellers realize, they're like, oh, we're flexible, we can just get out. And I'm like, you're gonna have, my last listing, and one day I had like over 30 showings.
Right.
They were like back to back, and because of COVID, you have to schedule them. And so it's like, I've had agents text me and they're like, I want to see your listing, but like it's full.
Yeah, it's full even
Like,
if the sellers are gone.
Yeah.
So we just had some good friends sell their house, and their scenario was, we knew it was going to be in high demand. It came on I believe a Thursday, and they reviewed offers on Monday. They just went out of town.
Yeah.
And that is the best situation. Like if you don't have the option to like move out entirely before you list your house, at least finding a way to get out of town, rent an Airbnb, move into a hotel. Obviously with COVID, it's harder to move in with friends. Hopefully if somebody's watching this in late 2021, that will be a distant memory, but for now it's a huge concern. So I think yes, having people in and out of your house while you're living there in the current times is not ideal. We're getting a little bit in the weeds. This really comes down to, if you're listing your house in the current environment, you're gonna make good money. There should be excellent demand for your house, more abundant demand for your house.
I've actually had conversations with sellers recently where, okay, so back up like 2 years ago, I feel like it was very common for people to list 15,000 below what they think, maybe 30,000 below, because you wanted to be safe. You wanted to get a lot of interest. You knew you were gonna get multiple offers. This market, I feel very differently.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to price towards the top of what you think you're gonna get because of the frenzy. I don't want 15 people sucking up my time slots for showings that can't compete, because I already know it's gonna go 30 over.
Well, and you hear this talk with sellers and with people in the community. People say that house had 40 offers. And it's like, if the house has 40 offers, you have not done a good job.
I sold this house for $100,000 over asking. I'm amazing.
It's like, you didn't do a good job pricing the house. I mean, obviously, every now and again, like everyone is taken by surprise, but for the most part, like part of the benefit of hiring a professional that really knows the specific community that you live in, like you don't want to be hiring an out of area agent right now. You want someone who has a proven track record working in the community you live in, because like you can dial that in so that you're getting, you know,
quality showings, like showings people who are actually qualified that can pay what the house is worth.
Absolutely.
And also going from the frenzy and like stress on sellers, when you present over I love when you get 2 to 5 good offers. But when you have 15, I've seen some people get 30 offers on their listings. Like, how do you present well that many offers? How do you call all the lenders? Like, how do you do that extra prep work when you have that many offers?
Well,
it's just
absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And as a seller, you're like, I have sellers agonizing over, should I pick this one or this one? Imagine if you had
And this is back to like, you know, when you have an expert in the neighborhood, you don't end up with that situation because you have expert pricing, expert preparation of the home. You know, you're writing offers for clients in the neighborhoods that you specialize in. You know what their expectations are, what they're looking at, what bothers them, what doesn't bother them. You're not going to be going and, you know, listing a house in Bothell right now because it's a completely...
Where?
Exactly. Like, it's not just you want an expert in Tacoma, you want an expert in the neighborhood in Tacoma, whether you're a buyer or a seller. That's so important right now. So just to summarize, 2021.
Frenzy.
Frenzy. Okay. And if you're a buyer or a seller, like the key is
preparedness. Even on the selling side.
Preparedness,
prepared.
patience, and a great real estate agent.
Great agent.
Always. Local expert.